Good afternoon, this is Claudine here at Rascal and Crow Farm. I'm just showing you here our heirloom tomato seedlings and through their stress period. So here in the Pacific Northwest, or the most southern tip of Canada, which is Vancouver Island, on our most southern tip of Vancouver Island, we are showing you what happens in this area when it comes to growing heirloom tomatoes. So you might find that in some of your areas you get cool nights like we do. Because we're so close to the ocean over here, we're probably about 500 feet from a cliffside of the ocean that goes down to 165 feet. And so we are, like I said, 500 feet from that cliff. And so our temperature at night or in the evening can drop anywhere from 15, I would say as an average, to 20 degrees Celsius. You'll have to convert that, whatever that is, in Fahrenheit. It has escaped me right now for all you American friends. And so this is a challenge a little bit for us here in this area. Now I'm showing you what happens to heirloom tomatoes when you grow in such an area. They go through a stress period. So once we harden them off, we put them in our greenhouse, and because of our cool evenings, our little heirloom tomatoes go through a bit of a stress period. So you might have that happen in your area. Not everybody does. When we were on the Lower Mainland in Vancouver, we did not have this problem. So I'm just showing you not to give up on your tomatoes. They grow fantastic here. And as you can see the little leaves. You see how they're a bit damaged? That's from the coolness of the night. This is not disease. They go through the stress period. This is what happens, but they'll pull through. So not to worry. So what we do is I'm just going to show you that I take off all the little damaged, sort of pocked, those little leaves that are all kind of damaged there. As you can see, it's not a disease. It's just stress. So we're just going to go, and we're going to go through them all, and we're going to pick them. And so this shows the tomato plant as nice and clean, no problems. This will all grow back. This is just what happens with them. So you pinch these little babies off, and then you end up with a really nice, very clean plant. Now, you might have a few, just a little tips or something that might have a little bit of this, and later on I'll pick those off too. So my plants will end up like this. Not a worry, they'll have a nice top and they're growing their new leaves anyways. You see how nice that is? That's pretty good. Okay, so that's what I do. I go through them all and I do that. And I also choose at this point, it is almost the middle of May, so I choose the strongest two and I leave them in their little milk jug greenhouse here. And I pick the two that is the least desirable, not as strong, these seedlings. So I'm picking out two, and I am going to leave two in at this point. Now I can take these little seedlings and I can replant them to sell. And they'll grow nice and big in a couple of weeks. They'll be really nice and beautiful. And I'm just going to move this guy along here. Give it a nice little water again. And so now I have two in there that have lots of room. Until for a couple of weeks, on June 1st is when I will go and transplant them in the ground for their last transplant in ground. Now the reason why I wait till the 1st of June is because the soil's nice and warm, and that's what tomatoes love, a warm soil. Putting them in early, say the beginning of May, you will lose probably a good 50% of them because it's just too cold over here in this area. So we hold off until the soil is warm. It doesn't hasten their growth if we put them in early in the ground. In fact, they'll become more robust and they'll be a beautiful size by the time we plant them. So this is what we do over here. And as you can see how beautiful that is. No worries, you'll see how huge these plants will be in 2 weeks. They'll be at least a foot, if not 14 inches tall. sometimes a little taller depending on the tomato. So not to worry if they look a little scrawny right now. They will grow. They've got their beautiful, as you can see, their purple stem there. So nice. Yeah, not a worry. So that's what it's going to look like. And so I'm going to take you over here, and you can see our plants here in our greenhouse. Look how many there are. And you can closely see how stressed some of these are. You see that? Not to worry though. These will all become beautiful in 2 weeks. So if you think that this is quite scary looking, do not worry. They will grow and they will be beautiful once I clean them up and take out the other 2 that are not needed. I picked the best 2 for our garden, and I could either sell them or I can do whatever with them, compost them. And so that's what it's showing you that it looks like. We got about 300 seedlings right now. You can see at the far end we got lots more. About the same amount on the other end. It's deceiving because they're so far away. But I guarantee you I have this much on the other end as well. So I hope this was interesting, and not to worry if you live in a colder place that you have hardened off and transitioned your seedlings to further grow for a little longer before you plant them in ground. Don't worry. This is just a little stress period that they go through. This is natural and normal, and it looks horrific, but not to worry. So in a couple of weeks I'm going to show you what this looks like. It's going to be fantastic, and how lush and beautiful these heirloom tomatoes will be. So thanks for joining us. I hope this was informative for you. And bye for now, folks. We'll see you next time.